The house stood alone, a silhouette against the stormy sky. Dark and imposing, it loomed over the town like a watchful gargoyle. Locals whispered tales of its troubled past, of lives lost and secrets buried. Emily, however, was never one to believe in ghost stories. She saw not a haunted house, but a thrilling mystery waiting to be solved. She had lived in its shadow her entire life. The house, perched high on the hill, was a constant presence. It was a place of shadows and whispers, where the wind seemed to moan through the broken windows. Its decaying grandeur held a strange allure, drawing her in like a moth to a flickering flame. Emily couldn't shake the feeling that the old mansion held answers. Answers to questions she hadn't even dared to ask. Every chipped stone, every broken window seemed to whisper a story. She spent countless hours studying its crumbling facade, trying to piece together its history from the fragments left behind. One day, she found a tattered diary hidden in the attic of her own home. The faded ink spoke of a hidden room within the mansion, a room filled with forgotten treasures and a secret that could shatter the town's peace. From that moment, Emily knew she had to see it for herself. She had to step inside the belly of the beast. It started as a dare. A group of kids huddled around a flickering street lamp, challenging each other to spend 5 minutes inside the mansion. Most scoffed, but Emily felt a thrill course through her veins. This was her chance. 5 minutes, she said, her voice surprisingly steady. I'll stay inside for 5 minutes. The others exchanged nervous glances. No one had ever dared to go inside, not for 5 minutes, not for 5 seconds. But Emily was resolute. She wasn't going to let this opportunity slip away. The old oak door groaned in protest as Emily pushed it open, the sound echoing through the silent house like a scream. Dust motes danced in the faint slivers of light that pierced the gloom, illuminating cobwebs that hung like macabre decorations. The air was thick with the smell of decay, the silence broken only by the creaking of the house as it settled around her. She stepped inside, her heart pounding against her ribs. The door slammed shut behind her with a resounding boom that sent a shiver down her spine. Fear pricked at the edges of her excitement, but she pushed it down. This was what she wanted, wasn't it? To face the darkness head on. Every creak of the floorboards, every sigh of the wind through the broken windows sent a chill down Emily's spine. She moved deeper into the house, her hand trailing along the dusty furniture. Shadows seemed to dance at the edge of her vision, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She found herself in a grand hallway lined with portraits of stern-faced strangers. Their eyes seemed to follow her every move, their painted lips curled into disapproving frowns. The diary mentioned a hidden room, but where could it be? A faint sound reached her ears, a whisper so soft she almost dismissed it as her imagination. She stopped, holding her breath, and listened. There it was again, a rustling, coming from behind a heavy velvet curtain at the end of the hall. Gathering her courage, Emily crept toward the curtain. Her fingers trembled as she reached out and pulled it aside. The room beyond was shrouded in darkness, the only light coming from a sliver of moon shining through a crack in the boarded-up window. As she peered into the darkness, Emily felt a cold hand grip her shoulder. She gasped, whirling around to find herself face to face with nothing. The hallway was empty. Heart pounding in her chest, she stumbled back, her eyes darting around for the source of the touch. Suddenly, the floorboards beneath her feet gave way with a deafening crack. She screamed, scrambling to regain her footing as she tumbled through the darkness. The musty scent of decay filled her nostrils as she landed with a thud on a pile of rotting wood. Emily lay there for a moment, dazed and disoriented, struggling to catch her breath. As her eyes adjusted to the darkness, she realized with a growing sense of horror that she was trapped. The floor had collapsed, and she was now in a small enclosed space beneath the house. Panic surged through her. She was trapped. She called for help, but her voice was swallowed by the oppressive silence of her tomb. Tears streamed down her face as she realized the truth. No one could hear her down here. She was alone, surrounded by the whispering darkness, with no way out.